Afghanistan is NATO's biggest challenge. The alliance took command in 2003 and has 50,000 troops from 42 different countries, including all 28 NATO members. With U.S. forces, the total troop number is more than 100,000. But NATO Force Chief General Stanley McChrystal says that doesn't mean they will succeed.
The situation is serious, and I choose that word very, very carefully. I also say that neither success or failure for our endeavor there in support of the Afghan people and the government can be taken for granted.
Attacks against NATO forces are increasing.
Yeah, we've got incoming.
There's pressure on both military and political leaders to show progress and a clear path forward.
My assessment, my best military judgment as I term it, is that the situation is in some ways deteriorating, but not in all ways. I can also point out ways where tremendous progress is evident.
The Afghan people expected things to be better by now. After the U.S. invasion in 2001, many had high hopes for peace and prosperity. McChrystal says some expectations were just too high. But the key to making Afghanistan a success now is regaining the people's trust before the Taliban does. Britain has the second largest force in Afghanistan, in one of the most dangerous regions of the country, Helmand Province in the south. There, they are helping train the Afghan army, another key for success. Western troops can't leave until the Afghans can take care of themselves. Britain's Army Chief, General David Richards, says the Afghans have not given up.
Over 80% of the Afghan population still doggedly want their government and the international community to succeed, although their patience with our failure to meet the expectations of progress we, ironically, have done much to create is undoubtedly beginning to flag.
Part of the problem is airborne attacks on insurgent targets that also kill civilians. That can drive some people to join the militants. But both generals say the Taliban mainly control the population through fear.
Their leaders are ruthless fanatics who will stoop to anything in the pursuit of power, readily killing by design men, women and children in order to terrorize communities into submission.
Rising NATO casualties are beginning to make this war increasingly unpopular. The Netherlands and Canada have already set dates to withdraw their forces. After 6 Italian soldiers were killed in a car bombing, the Italian Prime Minister said he wants to get his troops out as soon as possible. NATO's commander in Afghanistan is waiting to hear whether he will get thousands more troops he says are necessary to the success of his mission. Ultimately, that's a secure country that can protect itself and prevent al-Qaida from having a safe haven to plot and launch terrorist attacks. That future seems a long way away. Jennifer Glasse for VOA News, London.